And I want to backtrack to a comment you made earlier about the casting couch. So that's true? Like, because I always heard this rumor that she slept her way to the top. That's true?
She did. She's old. She's 60 years old. Look, if you want to find out about it, go online to the LA Times morgue. They used to have it so for a fee, you could get them to pull articles. They've been reporting on her for 30 some years. She's in her 20s, and Willie Brown took her up as his mistress. There was a medical firm that dealt with San Francisco. He got her a 15-hour-a-week part-time job there, which she never showed up to, according to the Times, but they paid her $72,000 a year for 15 hours a week. And understand, she's in her 20s, which is 30-some years ago. That's big money now. So he got her promoted up, so she did 20 hours a week. Times reported she never showed up, but she got 120 grand a year. So he bought her a 750i BMW, which was the top of the line at the time. So he set her up with all of the connections to get her into politics. The Times did a thing about this thing she had allegedly with an NBA player to get a job with a big law firm, and then a thing they did on her with the assistant director for the district attorney's office to get on with them, and then Montel Williams, and then back to Willie Brown, and then the rest of the whole thing, and she winds up with a Hollywood lawyer type not long before she runs for senator. So, and she adopts his children. She doesn't have any of her own, not saying.
How does he know so much about Kamala Harris, bro? See, and listen, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all, and some of y'all might not like me for this, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm listening to this, and I'm trying to learn some things about Kamala through Joe Brown, because he's a judge, you know, upstanding guy. He don't have no reason to lie. He's giving us a side that nobody else will see. But also, just wondering, why is he giving so much of this side right here? Like, what has happened to make him get to this point in their relationship? So when I listen to this, I'm really listening for that, because we're going to hear some dirt. I didn't hear all of the dirt yet. I haven't checked this out yet. This is my very first time checking this out. But I don't really like to dip my toe in the gossipy side of things. And this seems to be the gossipy side. This is also lending toward her character, and also what the Democrats are trying to hide as well. So this is fair game, because as much as they've been going after Trump, and they've been trying to attach him to streetwalkers and escorts and lot lizards and you name it, anything to make him look bad, this is fair game. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, this is not gossip. This is someone who's given his position. It's just not the most positive position about Kamala Harris, but it is a position and it's true. So that's why we're checking this out today. All right, I'm not going to do too much talking, but I might. I don't know.
It's a requirement, but it sure as hell helps, because I think the only 2 presidents of significance that didn't have children officially, George Washington and Andrew Jackson. And Andrew Jackson was a homicidal maniac. George Washington had enough by the slaves before he got sterile.
Jesus.
By disease. And the other 3 out of the 5 known ones, they weren't too good. They were has-been, never was type. So I say that I know what I thought when I was a young man. Such things didn't make differences, but then I'd never had to be a parent. You never had to get up sick and go to work when you didn't feel like it, because you had the bills to pay. You never had to be reliable when you had other things to do. and having this legacy that you have to pass on, and not wanting to do anything that shames your grandchildren because they do in fact exist and it's not hypothetical, that gives you a different perspective. So it's not an absolute requirement, but I think you really don't know how to have the dedication to the job if you have nothing to survive you. No immediate cause. Not saying that somebody can't be a good president without, but it's just, what's your stake in it? Do you want to leave a better America for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren? Or is there nobody out there that you have an immediate selfish interest in?
Yeah, and she used to date Montel Williams, right?
Yeah, Willie Brown's too. She showed up here at a mayor's conference in Memphis some years ago. I spoke at the damn thing. She showed up here. She was with Willie Brown. She got mad at her sister, this black judge here, because she just went over to speak with him. She jumped up, don't even look at him, leave him alone. The judge told her, ain't my type, don't worry about it. You know, I'm just trying to meet him. So, and I know, I mean, allegations, I wasn't there, but I've had at least 2 women that I've known who are married women, and they tell me essentially they almost slapped their husbands back when they were at Howard at a certain frat where somebody did a lot of second floor action, and they were angling on getting some, and it wasn't going to happen. You know, so you get this. Like I said.
Did he say she was up there doing some second floor action? Second floor action? Okay. All right.
And it wasn't going to happen. You know, so you get this. Like I said, I'm not holding it against somebody because they did it for recreation, but, you know, when you do the casting couch thing, that's a bad move. I know some women in Hollywood that did the casting couch and those who refused. The ones that got refused went further than the ones who did. The ones who did ramped up real quickly, but then they're a piece of ass. Everybody knows it, so they get passed around. And then, did it really have talent, or was it just they jump-started their careers and then the lack of talent shows? Or did you have talent and do it the hard way? See.
Bruh. Judge Joe Brown knows something about everybody, man. Let me tell you something. If y'all gonna be all freaky deaky, please don't do it in front of Judge Joe Brown. This dude is cool. He gonna tell it all. This brother's gonna tell it all, man. Okay. If you're gonna do the casting couch, then your career is gonna skyrocket. And I know a couple of actors and actresses who did do the casting couch, and I know some who didn't. Hey, who did it? Come on, tell us some names. Jeez, this dude is doing wow, Joe.
Or did you have talent and do it the hard way? See, I mean, I hate to say it, but now, the other thing is I don't see any case law she made as an attorney or running the district attorney's office in a large city. I don't see in private practice pro bono when she, early years before she got into prosecuting, that made a difference. I don't see any innovation in law that she's responsible for. I don't see any reform of criminal justice that she could have done a whole lot about. I don't see any of that. So what did she do?
Now, this right here is probably the most important part of the conversation, because he's an actual judge and he know when somebody put forth these types of efforts. Let me just play this back just one more time, because not the whole thing. It's just I'm going back like 20 seconds because I want to hear him talk about the important things that have to do with what does she lead? What does she get done? Like in my field, I would know. And I'm looking at her record, and she didn't do much of anything. And that's what we need to talk about for the last 3.5 years, too. What did she do? Not what I'm going to do and how my administration will look. It's going to look like people power. Come on, man. They're getting real childish over people power. It's a people power campaign. People power. But this is what we need to talk about. This is the conversation we should have.
I hate to say it, but now, the other thing is I don't see any case law she made as an attorney or running the district attorney's office in a large city. I don't see in private practice pro bono when she early years before she got into prosecuting that made a difference. I don't see any innovation in law that she's responsible for.
Now, I like what he said, the pro bono, something that's for the community, something that she actually provided services for people for no money whatsoever. He said, I don't see anything about that in her record. That's something important to consider. That part right there is something important, especially if she claimed to be a person for the people. You know what I mean? That right there should be in it.
Before she got into prosecuting that made a difference. I don't see any innovation in law that she's responsible for. I don't see any reform of criminal justice that she could have done a whole lot about. I don't see any of that. So what did she do? I just see a long laundry list, page after page of wrong. So I'm not one of these people that is a fan of promoting somebody upstairs.
Yeah, that's real talk. And that's crazy, man. Because I never heard that story before. So she tried to check a female because she thought she was trying to talk to her husband.
Yeah, I mean, and the woman was a judge she was talking to.
Wow.
I was there when that happened. It's like, dude, damn, who is that? I didn't know who she was, you know. I mean,
so Kamala went up to the judge and checked the judge because she thought that the judge was trying to talk to her man. Wow. That's heavy. I don't think she knew. She probably didn't know it was a judge, but she a little hood. That listen, ain't no white woman doing that. Only a black woman gonna be like, hey, let me tell you something. You'll get stabbed messing with mine. You'll get stabbed messing with mine. And you know what I mean? That's a lie. Black woman, white woman, red woman, black, blue woman, yellow woman, it doesn't matter. All y'all daggone, y'all can get crazy when it comes to your men.
Dude, damn, who is that? I didn't know who she was, you know. I mean, but
do you think she like black men?
No, I don't think she does. No, she doesn't. I mean, look at it. Most of these women that she locked up for the truancy problems were black women. Damn near everybody she was getting these horribly stiff sentences to as recommendations, they were young black men. What wound up happening, all of these people she withheld information on that could have exculpated them so they wouldn't have been found guilty, they were black men. She was particularly harsh in the way black men got treated when they came through the system that she had prosecutorial preeminence in. You see, she set up no programs to come up with work alternatives. She set up no programs to deal with rehabilitation. She set up no programs to deal with counseling.
Is this true?
Come up with work alternatives. She set up no programs to deal with rehabilitation. She set up no programs to deal with counseling. She set up no programs to offer alternatives to criminality. She just came down hard. And it's like, what did you get from her? You must have had a white client. Yeah, I did. Well, what do your black clients get? Not the same thing as the white ones. And you had enough black attorneys who had white clients to know the difference.
So I guess this is where the new information is coming through from Kamala is saying she's not going to do anything specifically for black people. And I guess that's because of stories like this. Joe Brown was saying You claim to be for them. What have you done for them? And I think that's a fair question. If you claim to be for these individuals, what are you doing for these individuals? Not that you have to give them anything, but are you providing some way for them to go from point A to point B? If you claim you can actually do it, because a lot of claims are out there right now from Kamala. She's saying how she's going to fix the economy and how she's going to make it better. And nobody's holding her to account. Like, what have you guys done in the last 3.5 years to do this? So try to hold her feet to the fire when it comes to the empty promises, guys.